versions. Utilizing a very simplified combat scheme and touchscreen controls in Justice and later Mortal Kombat X, players can connect their mobile and console games in order to be able to unlock features. Speaking of Mortal Kombat X, last year's Standout introduced character variations to the genre. Players can now choose between 3 different variations of the same character to battle with. Each variation came with its own unique abilities and a different visual appearance. Depending on the variation you're fighting against, your strategy may need to change, creating a new layer to a game franchise nearly 15 years old. So, what does the future hold for the fighting game genre? Well, with the advent of competitive gaming and the reinvention and reinvigoration of many strong franchises, the immediate future, I think, is looking pretty bright, especially when you consider all that 2016 has in store for fighting game releases. Classic series such as Street Fighter and King of Fighters have their newest installments releasing, while a rise in anime-themed fighters has definitely gained a big trend in the marketplace. Games based on One Piece, Naruto, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure released this year, as well as the game that Pokemon fans everywhere have been waiting for, like me, for example. Pokken Tournament, now live, and I haven't played it yet, but I think I'm going to get to tonight, and I can't wait.
So the future of fighting games is looking pretty bright.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say, because between the fact that we've reached a point where you have more realistic fighters, you have this anime-style fighting, and it's branching out into other areas, other genres, where successfully, there's been a lot of cash grab games in the past, things that, you know, like, hey, let's take our characters and throw them into a fighting game.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Star Wars Masters of the Terrace Council. So,
but we wouldn't be very good fans if we didn't spend some time talking about some of our favorites, which we've got a couple of selections.
Yeah.
Personal enjoyment. I've got about 15 minutes left by my clock, so I don't know if we'll be able to take care of all of them. So, in the interest of time, why don't we go down the line and talk about your most favorite on this list?
Sure. Oh, I can go
If
first.
we end up with time after it, then we can discuss some of the
All right, you know what? Let's knock one out, and I know all 3 of us want to gush over.
All right, fine. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Primal
Rage. Primal Rage came out in the 90s, mid-90s, I would say. Here's what I have to say. Post-apocalyptic dinosaurs battling in the future.
It's more than just dinosaurs. These are literal primal gods of the earth reawakened, and they're fighting for dominance in the blasted and rearranged wasteland that is our planet. How do you not love this?
And it rode on the violent coattails of Mortal Kombat at the time with stop-motion animation as opposed to digitized actors. But this game was rated T for teen, somehow.
I guess even after people said something about it, they re-reviewed the game and left it T for teen.
I guess if you're not inflicting all of this carnage on an actual human opponent, it doesn't matter as much.
Yes. Who cares if we destroy animals, apparently?
This is a gem that is just a fantastic one to go back and try, and it's actually very accessible to beginners if you're wanting to get into it.
There are two really cool mechanics involved with this game that I love. The first is the special move input system. As opposed to like the standard do direction and then press button, instead with Primal Rage you hold down a button and then move the stick in a different direction. But one of my favorite things was something called the no cheese mechanic, where the game actually had it in place. If it detected you doing the same special move or the same combo more than 3 times in quick succession, it would actually lock out your inputs and a giant forbidden cheese sign would appear on the screen.
I think fighting games should have more cheese.
I think everything should have more cheese. Oh, this game is so much fun.
Yes.
Primal Rage have done lactose intolerant.
All right.
Okay, so
Mr. Ty, you have one?
I guess I do, and this is one I want to present because not only is it very accessible for beginners, but it's one that gets a lot of flack, and that is Sonic the Fighter. I am a huge Sega fan and nerd, and I don't care what you have to say about it. But this game was developed by AM2, the same people who did the Virtua Fighter series, and it's very simplistic, as you can see, but it's fun. That's the thing, is not every fighting game needs to be intricate and overly competitive. Sometimes you're just gonna have fun. And, you know, this game gets a lot of flack as one of the crappy Sonic spin-offs, but you know what? It's good for a lazy athlete.
You want to talk about an animation style that makes use of smash and stretch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cute one.
Yes.
All right.
Tight. Nice try.
All right, I have to talk about my favorite one on this list, and I'm going to play, as soon as we get about 10 seconds into this video, you'll understand why I love this game so much. Oh, baby, I love this music so much. One was called 2097, released to PC by Epic Mega Games in the mid-90s or so. The concept behind this one was, it's a worldwide tournament, of course, but with giant robots involved. There's not really a lot of the stages as far as scale goes, but there's a lot of intricate tricks involving the different stages and the different hazards doing damage on your opponent, and also the addition of scrap and destruction moves, so it had its own version of fatalities in many ways. The game actually was really, really intricate for as simple as it looks. There's a simple character creation mode. You actually play through a story with some RPG elements, building up your fighter to be the ultimate combatant. And there's some difference also in terms of the robots involved and also the characters that you can pick to pilot them. You basically can customize your playstyle how you see fit. If you want a particularly fast pilot, but a particular mech with a specific playstyle, you can do that. It was really, really cool. And the art style is really cool too. But the music is what sells it.
So we still have a little time.
All right. So anything on this list you want us to talk
So
about?
who wants? What game do you guys want?
In the back.
How about Weapon Lord?
Ooh.
Weapon Lord.
Ty, you have the spot.
Ty gets the mic.
So Weapon Lord is the definition of a hidden gem. This game was released in the mid-90s at like the tail end of the 16-bit era, and it was published by Namco, and many people like to say that this is the precursor to the Soul Calibur series, because it's weapon-based. It was created by James Goddard and Dave Winstead, who now work for Capcom and actually work on Street Fighter 4. But it's just, the best way to describe this game is Conan the fighting game. If you like Conan the Barbarian, Red Sonja, anything with Robert E. Howard, this was the game to play. And what was actually great about this game is, before a game like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, this was an early 2D fighting game that had thrust blocks and guard parries long before the hand-to-hand fighting genre had it. So it was very intricate and somewhat advanced for its time, but it was heavily overlooked, and it didn't sell well, and that's why it's a hidden gem. YouTube channel Super Best Friends have actually given this a lot of exposure recently, and that's how a lot of people are starting to come by it now.
Maybe we'll see a virtual console release. That'd be cool.
That would be nice, yeah.
I'm down.
So yeah, Weapon Lord. You might be better off emulating it, but it's definitely worth it.
Okay, back to our list. Yeah.
WrestleMania!
Yes! Oh my god. I know we said no games based on sports, but honestly, look at this on the screen right now. If you think this has anything to do with real life, like pro wrestling, this is 90% more ridiculous than Saturday Night Slam Masters. You've got The Undertaker throwing Hadoukens, you've got Razor Ramon, that's one of my favorite moves coming up here, but this was a really challenging game in many respects, mostly because of this kind of breaks our rule also about talking about one-on-one duels. Most of the time, especially the later stages of the easier run, or right away. Okay, I just have to say, I had a lot of fun putting this video together just because I've got a friend who was a professional wrestler, and I showed him this video, and the first thing he said in criticism on it was, "My God, that ring is long." That's what you're focusing on.
As you can see, the game uses digitized sprites like Mortal Kombat. It was actually developed by games. Yep.
Yep, and they had all the real wrestlers giving their likenesses to service the product. And the product is just ridiculous on every conceivable level. And that's why it's still one of my favorites to play, even if it is one of the hardest ones I've ever played.
It's an arcade game. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's absolute fun.
Oh, Fire Razor! Okay.
All right.
Oh, you pick. Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Is it one? Okay. This one, I love this. This game is kind of a unique little snowflake in the world of fighting games, if only because of how committed it is to its own premise. You want to talk about weapon-based combat. Weapon-based combat, but done realistically. Bushido Blade's biggest conceit was there are no life bars. There are no stamina meters. Basically, it's a duel between two samurai. And the biggest conceit of it is if you take a blow that would be a killing blow in real life, you're dead.
Yeah. This is literally samurai movie Yugi.
And there were some progressions as far as the fights go. There was some detail. I mean, if you attacked in a particular way, you could attack your opponent's sword arm. Their arm would just hang limp, and they couldn't control their weapon as much. They couldn't move as fast. You could attack their ankle, and they'd have to drop to one knee, and they couldn't move around at all. But if you made a killing blow, even as soon as the fight began, congratulations, you just won.
Well, that escalated quickly.
There's a really cool extra mode also that involves you taking any character and given the standard katana and you have to slice your way through 100 ninjas. It is glorious.
Bushido Blade, we're going to have another sequel, but after that,
They kind of dropped it.
it kind of disappeared.
So it's
Oh
one
yeah,
of my
we have
favorites.
time for one more, just about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. Third strike.
Ah, there we go.
Yes, I did. Third strike. So this is Street Fighter. Yeah, this is the game that truly made it Street. It is also heralded as one of the most competitive and if not the best fighting game of all time, possibly, depending on who you ask. But this game is very intricate in its fighting style, very fluid. Look at those strikes, how fast they move, frame for frame. This is also the game that would use guard parries. And like that, exactly like that, how you can just guard aim with a projectile hand in hand, and this will even give you the time to do a long move while your opponent could not recover. And it's just a very, very competitive game, and it's actually played by many competitions to this day. And it's probably now for Third Strike, there was actually two other iterations of Street Fighter 3, which was a new generation, and there was also a second Impact. And they were considered decent, but they didn't really blow the meter, so to speak, until Third Strike, which had everything kind of ironed out to what it is now. It's a fantastic game.
We got a few minutes left. So.
Okay.
What's up?
Anything to say on Dead or Alive?
Yes, actually, quite a bit to say. DOA, it was an interesting step forward as far as 3D fighters go. What set DOA apart was it was the first one that really took a good look in not just combos and intricate martial arts styles, but also how to combat them. DOA was the first game that really made use of a parry and interrupt system as a fundamental part of its gameplay. If you don't, basically, at any level of the game, even on the standard difficulty settings against the computer, if you don't master the hold parry button, you are not getting very far in this game. And the character design, apart from just the move jiggle, which has become infamous for, Ionic here actually it has that feature turned off, and apart from that, there's really not a lot. The extreme sexualization really did not come until later.
Yeah,
so it's a very solid fighter in its own right.
Yeah, the game gets a lot of flack.
Yeah, here we go.
Its visual style nowadays.
But see balance.
Underneath the bouncing breast, there is an
I actually really dig.
Lift it up and see what you will
I
find.
actually really dig its conceit also about having a ring space, but also allowing the playfield to go on infinitely, which is the flashing panels, the bomb panels. If you go out of the main play space, you don't instantly end the match, but you do explode when you leave. So it's your incentive to stay within the ring. So there's a lot of intricate things that this franchise has come up with.
I think, is that our time?
Oh, you got one more?
I actually got a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of characters do you guys normally play with when you play fighting games? Are you guys more into the slower, heavier grapple character? Fast combo? Or?
Pass. Chip Zanoff is my man.
I'm all about distance characters, that can do a good job of distancing yourself from your opponent without exactly spamming them, but kind of keeping your distance and being able to kind of psych them out with what's called footsies, kind of, where you going back and forth trying to see, the distance of how your attacks will affect them.
I like combos. I slide that was up for me. I like combos.
Talk about it.
So yeah, and Orchid was my girl. Orchid was my girl there, and Katana's my girl in Mortal Kombat. There's just something about being able to dash in there and just not stop.
If we were talking favorite fighting game characters, we'd have to be here much longer. If I really had to say, put someone out there, that'd probably be Raiden from Mortal Kombat. I'm a huge, Lord Raiden fan.
I'm not gonna lie, I instantly fall in love with Cassie Cage from Mortal Kombat X.
Cassie Cage is awesome.
One of my favorite characters is actually on another game that's on this list, probably Showa from Rival Schools. Freud would probably have something to say about me enjoying a character with a bat, with a baseball bat larger than he is.
Yeah. So I think that's about time.
I believe that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. I hope this was really informative.
If you like us talking about video games, be sure to come back to this same room tomorrow morning. 9:15 tomorrow morning,
We're going to be talking about video games, we're going to be talking about movies, I'm going to be talking about video game movies.
and stick around for 10:30 when I'm going to be talking about Theory and the Legend of Zelda. In this room here.
Tomorrow morning, in this